I feel like the pieces are starting to fall into place.
Good. Go back to the theatre.
Let's head back to the theater
It's
and
only
organize
there.
our thoughts.
It's only there, isn't it?
Sounds good. Inaya should also be back soon.
I'm not getting to do much. I might go this way. Off the rails now, aren't I? They didn't expect that, did they? Game developers. They didn't expect me to go over here and hide in this bush, did they? Let's go back to the theatre and wait for Inaya to arrive. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm going to wait for her in this bush, and when she arrives, I'm going to run out and trip her over. Boosh, she's going to go on the floor. And then I'm going to run out, like, she's going to come through this door. I'm going to run out from behind here. She hasn't seen me. She hasn't seen me. I've seen her come through this door. She's coming out. Right, I've run out. Oh, she hasn't seen me, right? Grab one of those melons, or whatever they are. That's a melon. You can't tell me it's not. That's a wolf hook. That's a sunsetia. That's a Harris fruit. But that is a melon. You can't tell me it's not. Grab that. Bang on the back of her head. Fuck you, Inaya. You're fucking closing down my oosh. Give her a couple of kicks. Boosh. Boosh. You're not having my fucking theatre. Boosh, you fucking chuffer. Send that back to your fucking dad. Get another melon. Here's one for your dad. Boosh. Yeah, fuck off. That's my plan. Although Inaya is on our side. She's on our team. But it's her dad that's the trouble. So, you know,
Abby?
the message will get back.
Have you seen Miss Inaya?
No, Miss Nilo. Miss Inaya isn't back yet.
I know. She seems to be having some trouble with some fruit at the entrance. God's kicking her head in.
Wasn't she just passing on a message? Does she really need this much time?
She could have started arguing with her father again. She's a mole. She's a mole. She's grassing us up. Let's have it. Come on.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Traveler, Paimon, I think I've messed up big time.
She thinks she's messed up big time.
What if Inaya never planned to come back?
Which goes with that. I mean, obviously you knew that, but I just thought I'd reiterate. She thinks she's messed up big time. You know, you can buy it. Look, this is a tangent. Just gotta have it. Gotta have it. You can buy those headdresses. You can. Genshin Impact. Is it a crown or like a headdress? Oh look, there's Klee. She don't look like Klee. Hang on, that doesn't look like Klee to me. Klee's not that. That's a bit of a saucy. That's not right. What? Klee's not. Klee doesn't wear little. Well, she does, but not like that. It doesn't quite ring right to me. That sexy Klee. That is. Klee's an 8-year-old girl in the game, so shouldn't have sexy Klee. I'm glad they've changed it. When I went back, they've changed it. Thanks, they heard me. Now this interests me. That interests me because I press that button, the F key, and it goes clunk, 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 and I think, oh, that's nice. I'm collecting things. Yeah, so, right, if I could buy that, yeah, and when I press it, it goes clunk, brilliant. If I press it and nothing happens, not so good. Click, click, fidget toy pendant. It's just one computer key. Does it go clunk, 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 clunk when you press it? Brilliant. If not, no. Not so good. But interesting. This interests me. Oh, look at this. That interests me. Oh. Ah, look at these. That looks more like Zelda to me, that one. I mean, I haven't used any of these swords in game. Maybe I've used that one, but £100 is way too much money. Look at that though, £129 for a... Oh, you chuffer. And I bet that's not worth £129 when you actually get it out and look at it. Like, it's made of fucking foam in places. Spongy foam. It want to be made of metal for me for £129. But they do all the different kinds, look. They're all £129, which seems like a lot of money to me. That £129. That's £89. Yeah? That's fucking way too much money. But if you're Scotty Hottie and you've got your head screwed on, look, you can find one down here. Look at that. That's £30. That's not even... That's okay. That's £30. It's not even a lot of money, is it really? Not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. You chuffers. You can't see it because of the green screen. Look, you chuffers. What's this? I'm such a naughty chuffer. I'm such a bad chuffer. Wait. I'm such a bad chuffer. Wait, where's the... Wait. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. Ooh. Ooh. That's nice, isn't it? No, that's nice. It is a little bit wobbly. You couldn't use this as a proper weapon, I'll tell you that. And if you want my actual fine detail rating, you can't see so much fine detail, but It's just printed plastic, and you can see in the emblem here, the gold overlaps. It just like bleeds out a little bit onto the pink. It's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect from a distance. If you were fighting with it, you got a bit of a wobble. You can bend it, but it's not like made of metal or anything. You don't want to be smashing people around with it because it probably will break. But for cosplay purposes and just for looking fucking cool, that lives on my wall now in the gaming room. Choff! Look at it. Ah, it is a bit good, isn't it? It is a bit good. I mean, it is a bit good. It's the dog! Don't hurt the dog with the sword. Don't hurt the sword with the dog. It is. Ooh, he's a good boy. Probably put that back as well. It's my own stuff. So just put that on the wall. Just keep that there. It's over there now. That was worth the money. Definitely worth the money there, yeah. What the fuck was that on my hand? Oh, that was a weird one. I felt like something was tickling my hand. Like it was a spider. I hope it wasn't a spider that came off the sword. It was probably nothing. More likely nothing. And I think, what am I doing now? What am I doing now? I'm trying to put my filter back on chroma key. Close. Thank you. Yeah, so I thought that was well worth it. I don't know what there is a question I've got though. You've got no space. I mean, it only take up a little space, doesn't it? I just couldn't. I couldn't not buy that. I wanted one of the £100 ones, but for £30, I don't. You know, that's a good deal to me. I'm not spending £100 on it, am I? But that was okay, yeah. And like the thing I've got a question though, right? Should I have bought that one? I don't know what that is. I don't recognise it from the game. And then this one's called the Reforged Manure Splitter. Now I don't know if you notice there. You can see it's only little. It says Reforged Manure Splitter. I don't think this is the Manure Splitter, is it? I just copy and paste into Google. Let's just have a look at manure. Like manure is like horse shit, yeah. Cow poo, like that's manure. So reforged manure splitter. It's not the manure splitter, is it? It's Eula weapon. It's one of the signature weapons. Look, there it is. I don't have Eula. I didn't have many options. I had 2 options, so I got the sword that looked the coolest. But they've got other ones on AliExpress, look. I don't buy off AliExpress. But that's $20 on AliExpress. Maybe I should get that. I'm quite prepared to get that as well. That's Raiden's sword. Look, you see it comes in 2 parts. It's made of actual plastic. Like more solid plastic, I think. Quite prepared to buy that, frankly, very much. But £18, look. They do, oh wait, 52 centimetres, 110 centimetres. 110 centimetres, £27. It's not a bad deal. I don't know what I'm ever going to do with it, like you say, about, you know, space. But they do make more, so I'm only at the start of my, you know, oh, God help me if I end up having a collection of swords. I did used to fight with swords. You know, it is a thing that I like. I was in the British fencing team, so I've got a reason for having it, but now I've got it. It's on the wall. But it's fucking cool, yeah? But is it the manure splitter? Why is it called the manure splitter? Why is it called the manure... That was Heal Hitler. We're going to do that sometime. Why is it called the manure splitter? It can't be the manure splitter, can it? Spreading manure. Separating manure. No. Reforged splitter, yes. Not manure. They've got that wrong, haven't they? Eula's Song of Broken Pines. Oh, that's the Song of Broken Pines is Eula's. All right, okay, and I don't have that. So what's the Reforged Splitters? Whose is that? Reforged Splitter. Mist Splitter. Not manure, mist. So they've got that wrong, haven't they? Mist Splitter. I think they might have mistranslated Mud Splitter. Manure splitter anyway. Oh, it says Mist Splitter there. It says Mist Splitter on the main thing, but when you choose it and it comes in the post, it says Reforged Manure Splitter, and I thought, what have they done here? I have not ordered a manure splitter, but thankfully it arrived fine, just the right thing. You can buy other little pieces of Genshin tat as well. A fan. I don't have any use for a fan. But that, oh, it's on Amazon as well, so you can't, you know, it's easy to buy it. It's not like you have to go on another website and type in your details. You're already signed up to Amazon, so there you go. Bang, that's in your basket. Fuck. Are you really buying it? Yeah, go on then. Ooh, go on then. You can actually see there in the detail of that where the gold bleeds, the paint bleeds. So you can actually see that. It's all fair. It's all above board. It's all fair around here, mate. 32 notes. What was I even here for? The crown. The crown. There's 60. Oh, that's a foam again. £60 for foam, though. I mean, that's quite nice, isn't it? Is that how long is it? 11-inch blade length, 29 inches. That's not bad. 60 quid, though. I'd buy it for 20, 30 max. I can't, you know, we can't start spending £60 on swords, the foam swords. But hello. And it has nothing to do with Shogun. They just add random Genshin words on it because it also mentions Shogun and has nothing to do with Shogun. I bet they don't know anything about the game, do they? They just like make it like... Imagine you work in a factory making polyurethane toys and someone says to you, there's quite a popular game called Genshin Impact. And you say, yeah, is there? Yeah, I want you to make me a harp. This is the style and design. And you ain't got a fucking clue, have you? Now, if you work in the polyurethane toy factory, you're very unlikely to know what the... You just get given the design and you do your best to turn it out the way you hope it looks. And who wants that? Who wants to pay £52 for a fucking harp? I mean, if you're doing the cosplay, you probably go through all the rigmarole of making your own anyway, but a harp, you know, doesn't make sense to me, a harp. That fucking rocks. If it fitted and was made of nice... I bet it... Again, for 60 quid, I think that's probably made out of cheap plastic. But that rocks. Like, Hu Tao's costume. Again, I'd buy that coat... If that coat was made out of actual fabric, you know, like stitched like a piece of material, like not a cosplay cheap, like actually a coat, I'd pay 100 and something for that, and I'd wear the fucker, like my Genshin Impact coat. Yeah, that's cool as fuck. But like some papery plastic, wear it once and it tears to pieces, and that was lots of money. But there we are. Look, told you, didn't I? Nilou's headwear. Finally. There she is. She's wearing the fucker. There. There it is. 60 quid. You can have your very own hat. And look who they got. They got Nilou to present it for you. Strangely though, this Nilou, hers is that colour. Black and whatever. And this one is like yellow. So they're different. She's not modelling the one you get, I'm telling you. Quite an interesting cosplay though. She actually looks quite a lot like her, doesn't she? I don't think they're her real eyes, are they? She's probably got someone else's eyes. Some shit. Maybe it's artificial intelligence. It's all pinned in with hairpins. Look, she's pinned it in with hairpins, and you can see the clips. So that's not particularly good. Anyway, you could have that, or if you the other old. I mean, look at this. Oh, look at the cosplay sells it, doesn't it? But look at the sword. Oh, 80 quid now. Bit too much money for me again, but 80 quid and foam. So. And then there's a staff. Oh, pole arm. The pole arm. No. Yeah. Oh, look at that. This is like sword porn now. Look at that. I don't even know what kind of quality it would come. 80 quid. I'm prepared to buy it if I was a millionaire. Not at my end of the scale. 80 quid on a sword that I'm going to put on the wall and occasionally show people and go, look, isn't it cool? That ain't too much money. I mean, I'm a streamer. I'm a professional streamer. So I could get these weapons and do an episode and be like, oh, today's episode is about these Genshin weapons, so I had to buy them. I put them on the business. Very close to buying that, but not quite. Not quite, but oh, look at it. I mean, it's good when you get it in the game, but imagine this. If when you win it in the game, Genshin Impact sends you an email and says, congratulations. Imagine that. I would pay a proper subscription, right? Here's an idea that I just came up with that can change the world. I would pay a proper subscription for a game like Genshin Impact, and if I win a sword in the game, they post it to me in the fucking post. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? That'd be absolute. Imagine a great room set full of. Yeah. Now, if you get sponsored by Genshin, like you said, they could fill my room with it. Yeah, but they're very unlikely to sponsor me because I'm not spending any money on their game, and I'm not suggesting you do either. In fact, I'm showing that you can play the game for fun. With no money, and all the money I could have spent on Genshin Impact I'm considering buying a sword with, so I'm like the worst advert. Money spent 0-0, hardly even playing the game on the streams. Doing lots of shopping on Amazon, but this is fucking cool, and like if they were prepared to throw me stuff like this, I think this is not even, I think this is unofficial. Look at the lamp, it's awful. I bet it's quite big. It's unofficial, I think this is, but if anyone wanted to send me a Genshin Impact sword, yes, lovely. I would fill my room with them, but then I would have like I said I didn't want a streamer room full of all bits from games. Everyone's got one of them, but I would end up just doing it because I absolutely love them. The other ones that I put in the basket but took out, frankly, I put them in and took them out. Was this is cool as fuck though, but I mean it is cool as fuck, no doubt. But, so the £125 jobs, you're not getting them. 125, you're off your nut. But we're talking 40 quid. We're talking foam swords. They come in silver as well. That's just the example in black. We're talking Attack on Titan. You know, there's nothing wrong with picking up a pair of Attack on Titan. That's a letter opener, so don't get excited. That looks the shit, but it's a letter opener. But there's nothing wrong with picking up a pair of Attack on Titan. No, she's cross. They're just made up like they're cheap moulded plastic things, aren't they? Moulded rubber. Not too special. There's the silver one. That's the one I'd like. The silver ones. And they've got this bit of string hanging off the edge because they're supposed to be plugged into your gas pack, aren't they? But so they just got the bit of string. That's why I put them. I decided to take them out of the basket because I think the string looks scruffy, just hanging around on them. You'd cut that string off, wouldn't you? You just bin that off. Although you need it to plug into your gas pack if you're doing a proper cosplay. But the swords themselves are cool as fuck, but they're a little more niche. I don't know if everyone knows what Attack on Titan swords look like. What I could do, I don't know about all just Genshin Impact stuff, but I would buy all the swords from the games and line them up on the wall behind me. I've got one now, so now I've got an excuse. That would be acceptable to me, swords from games, because then we could open it up to they must make one, mustn't they? Zelda sword. I just put Zelda sword, Nintendo sword, The Legend of Zelda, Link sword, official, original. This must be the one then. Official, original, double official. 25 notes. I wonder how big it is. But she's got it. She's only little, bear in mind. So it's little. I'm not a Kokiri, for fuck's sake. I want a proper full wonger. All it'll mean, though, is that I start buying, like, here we are, foam, master. I want the master sword, don't I? Like, here I buy a foam sword. I'm happy with it. It's good. It's not perfect. It's a foam sword. It's for fun. Yeah? Goes up on the wall. And then after a few years, I start thinking to myself that I want... And I bet they make them. I bet it's Etsy. Etsy Master Sword. And I bet it comes £600 plus. Oh, we're not talking £600 plus. No. Are we talking real metal? Like, I want the actual functioning swords now. We're talking £80 there. That's not too bad. It's not too impressive looking. It's plastic, isn't it? It is plastic. That's a plastic handle and pommel. So I'm not going to fight anyone with plastic. It could be metal, but now, you know, you're getting a hobby like that and you start stepping up, don't you? And you ordered myself a small... You've got a vision. A vision. That's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. Because you can wear that and everything else... I thought it's still niche. Still niche. I thought Amazon would just bring it up if I type vision. No, it's brought all this other stuff up. I don't want a fucking birdcage. Do I? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a Genshin Impact vision. That's a really good idea though, because you can wear it and anything that you're... Oh, they do it in little jewellery as well. That's nice. I'm sure they do a variety then, don't they? Look. Yeah, and you can have that, and it's your vision, isn't it? So you've got it on you, and you don't have to have all the other kit like that's the core. Everyone's got a different style, but they all have a vision. So if you've got a vision, then you are a cosplay Genshin Impact. Everything else is your own style. So I think that's quite cool. Yeah, it's quite a clever idea. For those in the know as well, like it's a small. Like, if I carry that sword around in the street, people are going to think I'm an idiot, and then people that see Genshin Impact are going to go, "Oh, he's got a Genshin Impact sword." But like, if I had a vision, no one's going to think I'm an idiot. They're just going to think it's just a keyring or something or whatever it is. And then when someone knows about it, they're going to go, "Oh, you got your vision." And that's quite cool, isn't it? It's like a little secret signal. I think wearing a Tignari jumper is a bit different. But having a vision is quite a secret signal. That's quite cool, actually. Now I've seen that as well, right? That, I assume that's small. Garden ornament, I assume that's small. And what it made me think of, right, if that's like little, then I can get some hamsters and I can dress them up. I'm vegan, I can't do this, but I could get some hamsters and dress them up as the Genshin Impact characters and use tiny Genshin Impact props to make Teviat come to life. Teviat come to life, but with hamsters. But obviously that's terrible, bad. Don't do that. Go back to swords. Yeah, I reckon I could go high end though with swords. Like there's a shield, Etsy. Is it made of metal? You know, we're talking about 350 quid now. But that's where I'd end up. If I'm not careful, if I start buying and displaying armaments from video games, I'll get well eggy about it and just want like the full blown. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know about that. Maybe that's a bad idea. Because it'd never end as well, would it? Look, it would never end. That's cool as fuck. You'd have to be right in the know for that, but that is still cool. But maybe, yeah, I'd display armaments from video games in the room. I'd be prepared to do that. That's a bit better than having a little shelf with some, you know, a statue of Mario on it or whatever. Armaments, yeah. I suppose there must be guns as well, mustn't there? Like, I didn't really play Halo, but there must be some famous guns from games. I don't really want them sending me I don't really want guns being sent to me in the post, because then, you know, the police might turn up at my house. But look at that. That's nice as well, isn't it? Steel, wood and leather. Like, these people actually go all out on it, don't they? Like, if you could actually use it as an actual shield, that's what I'm talking about. You know, I want an armament that I could actually use as an armament. Which is even worse, isn't it? It's even worse. I'm very tempted to click this one. What the fuck, dude? Dude, what the fuck, dude? I never saw Zelda wearing that, dude. What the fuck? Bows are quite interesting as well. Hand-carved wood. Again, you probably wouldn't recognise it as being a Zelda bow, but it probably is quite accurate. You're a great advocate of DIY, but doing resin epoxy in your current house is impossible. I've never even tried. You did D&D tiles. Oh yeah, stuff like that. I'd do little miniature stuff, yeah, but not like anything big like a bow. It might be quite interesting as a project. I think I'd just make a mess of it. I think I'd end up spending more than £400 in materials and end up with a shit bow. But there's a lot to be said for some of this stuff. Like, you know, I mean, that's quite cool, isn't it? But I bet you have to plug it in, and then you have a wire hanging down, and you don't, like, they've managed to mask it quite nicely in the image, but when you actually put it on the wall, you have a wire hanging down, and extra neon in my sets is an option. But I quite like the rustic reality of the weaponry. Anyway, I've talked long and hard about this now. I've bought a sword, you've seen the fucker. I'll get it out every now and then. I'll get it out for different reasons. But I'm going to stay at this end of the scale for now. £22 on a sword. Every now and then, if I feel like it's... I mean, that one isn't necessarily that standout, is it? You couldn't... You know, if you saw that in the street, you wouldn't run over and go, that's the Master Sword. Like, whereas the Genshin Impact ones, they definitely... I see them as Genshin Impact weaponry. Look at that. It's like a dagger that you put on your Wii remote. So if you're playing, you can stab people at the same time. Like, that's a bit hectic. Choose a life, not a knife. Put down the knife. Choose your life. Or teach your kids to stab each other when they're playing on the Nintendo. Oh, Don't start showing me these. 46 ain't too bad, is it? Anime fan, the special knife of Black Katana knife for Skyward Blade. I don't even know whether it's a game or something. I don't know what it is, but it looks fucking cool. I'm happy with that. 40 quid's a lot of money. I think it's made of wood. Who's buying that for their kids? Look at these. Katanas. Are they out of a particular... Oh, it's used by Kamado Shin in the comic Demon Slayer blade. Okay. If you like... the trick is do the most cheap possible design. Yeah, because everything's practice. Even before Thankyou's real good, would use sponge or clay. If you see people practicing sword technique with a wooden sword, not an iron one, maybe. Although I will tell you, having been a professional, I was in the British fencing team. I was a sword fighter, so the balance and weight of the sword is important. So you can't really practice with a non-real weapon. And like I could wield a sword. If we were in a sword fight and you'd had no training, and I've been to the British fencing team, then I'm going to win. I went to the World Championships at fencing, so I'm probably going to win. And they're all different. Okay, yeah, big heavy sword, little rapier. Yeah, they're all different, but I know a little bit in advance. So I would practice sword technique with the sword I was going to use, and that's why that's what I'm saying. I want these to actually be functional, not wood. I would rather have a real sword. Like, not maybe a real sharp one. Yeah, fuck it. But that's dangerous and is an offensive weapon, and the police can come in and say, what's that on your wall? So maybe just playing with the toys is better. But you'd find it difficult to translate your skills when you pick up the real sword, because the weight would be very different. Unless, I suppose, you could weight the wooden sword in some way, but that must be quite hard, because weighting it, like, you could add weight at the top end, and that would make it feel heavier. But yeah, I'd probably go with the actual, even if it's just made of like cheap metal and it's not sharp and shiny, you're better off practicing with something that's properly weighted. Practice makes permanent. Look at that. I should watch this Demon Slayer thing. Demon Slayer Blade, it's a comic. And then I'll be really into it, and I'll really want that. We've got to get on with Nilu. We've got to carry on with what Nilu's doing. I've left Nilu. But, Demon Slayer Blade, there's loads of them in the shops, so it's not just those. Oh, there's 136.99, that's going to be a good one. Where's the comic? Can I have a look at the comic? Oh, look at this chuffer. See, now I'm getting welded. Oh, what's this? Etsy, I'm on Etsy looking at swords. No, don't take me here, because I'll never leave. There are some cool swords, aren't there? I don't really need any of them. And to be honest, it would look a bit... Let's be honest, let's be real. If someone came in my house and I had fucking loads of Dungeons & Dragons swords on the wall, like loads of Lords of the Rings swords, they'd think I was a bit of a geek. And it's a little bit over the top. Like, it's a little bit boy's bedroom rather than grown man, isn't it? But, you know, I never understood this when I was growing up as well. Like, I'd be like, oh, look at that, that's cool. And my dad would be like, I'll put that down, you're naughty. But doesn't my dad also think swords are cool? Like, why doesn't everyone think swords are cool? Do you know what I mean? Like, the adults are always like, oh, put it down, stop messing. But don't all the adults, why don't the adults think they're cool as well? I can see why America's got a problem with guns now. We've got a problem with knife crime in our country, and they're selling these sort of things. Look, they're selling these sort of things on Etsy. Fucking hell. Combat sword, Damascus sword with leather sheath. Damascus is the type of forging of the blade. It's you use like loads of cheap offcuts and then smash them all together to make a blade. I think that's what Damascus steel is. I might be wrong. And also, going back to what I was saying about me having experience with a sword, I would definitely rather use a lighter sword than a heavier sword because of all my training. Like, there'd be some swords that I would find much easier and much more... I'd be much more used to wielding. Like, an infantry sabre, I would absolutely rip it. I'd be good with that. I'd like more of a guard on it. Oh, look at that. Sabre. Sabre drinking bottles. Dunder Mifflin. Someone's got some cheap water bottles and put a sticker on them. They're selling them for 20 quid on Etsy. Man, they get away with anything on Etsy. Not even associated with the It's not even official. Yep, that's a letter opener, but if it was a real sword, I'd do you with it. I'd win. A little bit of experience. Only a little bit, though. A little bit, quite a lot. It's all about footwork, distance, and timing. Blade work's important, but I'd probably be able to win most sword fights against amateurs based on footwork, distance, and timing. Same with boxing. Like, if I got in a ring with an amateur boxer, and neither of us had ever done any boxing training, like we just step into the ring, but I've got a background in a martial art that's taught me distance, timing, and footwork, I've got a huge advantage. So, I'm not blowing my own trumpet too much. I am a bit, though. I don't know if you heard me counting, I did over 1,000.